All right, so the day is finally upon us. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is out in the wilds. 141,000 players already in the game. That is mind-blowing. So that really does bode well for this game. And we also have some brand new comments from the dev team we're going to go over about the Metacritic score. There were some celebrations that it hit a 90, but it has dipped below that. Some conspiracy theories as to why that is. And also the dev team calls out certain reviewers, so we're going to dive into that one. Plus, we have some rewards, some really cool in-game offerings, including some armor sets that you can actually acquire. It's pretty easy on how you can do this. I'll talk about that as well. And we're going to talk about, yes, the day one patch. It's about an 80 gigabyte update, but a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what has changed? We're going to go over that. And by the way, remember, I'm still doing my Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 giveaway that's still going on. It should be ending here in about I think 10, 12 hours or something like that. But there's two different giveaways I am running. So two different chances, I guess you would say, to actually obtain Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 if you are curious. So follow that link in the pinned top comment down below. Now let's start from the very beginning, shall we? That's what we're going to do. Also, check this out right here. We have this celebration that, yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the #1 top selling game on Steam right now. And I think that it's going to have some staying power for a little bit here until Monster Hunter Wilds does release. And I think that you'll see them going head to head, which is going to be actually cool to see. But yeah, this is a game of the year contender from what I'm understanding, and I cannot wait to try it. It's killing me. It's torture right now. It's downloaded on my machine, but I did want to get this video out for you guys first. But man, I'm seeing the gameplay right now, and it is killing me. I cannot wait to get into this one. Damn. But also, it was cool to see CD Projekt Red congratulating the dev team on this release as well. You're seeing a lot of camaraderie out here, and the Stalker 2 dev team also made some comments and celebrated the release of this one. So that camaraderie, I love to see it within the gaming community. That's the sort of thing I love to celebrate. But anyway, you're probably wondering, hey, Robbie, what about those rewards that you were talking about, the armor sets, that sort of thing? Can you please tell me about that? Yes. So this relates to Twitch drops. So you can acquire this entire armor set one piece at a time by watching select streamers. It's quite easy, and you'll get these armor sets right here. Now, I know a lot of you are like, hey, I don't want to watch any streamers. I want to keep this spoiler free. I don't blame you. So what you could do potentially is just open it up in a window and then have it running, and you should meet those milestones, mute the streamer or whatever if you don't want it spoiled. And then you would meet those milestones, and you should be able to obtain that really cool armor set, which I know a lot of you guys would probably want that. But we got to talk about some of the controversies related to the review score and what's going on with that. Overall, we're seeing some really, really good news. Of course, it did hit that 90 Metacritic score, as you can see right here. This was one of the co-founders at Warhorse Studios, the dev team, celebrating this, which he has every right to be absolutely thrilled about that. And he still has a right to be happy, even though, as you can see right here, it dipped below that 90 Metacritic score. But, why was that? We have Daniel Valvra, co-founder here, calling out Eurogamer, saying, your trusted source of gaming news. Last time they refused to give us any score. Damn, really? And you can see the quote here. It is a hard and maddening slog at times, but one that still has its moments where it surprises. Like the original, this isn't an RPG designed to make you feel good. You continue to be little more than a passenger in the historical tapestry, following blah, blah, blah. We don't have to read all of that, of course, but you get the gist, kind of like they were kind of ho-hum about the game. And, not everyone, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but some of these reviews might be a little bit more personal than others. I don't know why that would be. I don't know. But also we have this one as well. A trusted news source, mission accomplished. We no longer have a 90% Metacritic score. Be proud of your excellent journalistic standards. And this was from Games Hub, and they gave it a 5. Oof, I think that is a bit extreme, of course, from what we're seeing with this one. They said Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a game that unabashedly demands you meet it on its level, which I do find somewhat admirable. I just constantly found it to be miserable slog. Again, that word slog, to engage with, where everything was 10 times more overblown than it had business being. There's a fascinating sandbox deep within it but digging through the mountain of muck to appreciate it was simply more than I could stand most of the time. Yeah, and this game has been described as like a very slow burn, especially with its tutorial, and it leans more realistic than like, you know, dark fantasy or even medieval fantasy, which I think might throw a lot of players off. I personally love that, you know, that they are embracing realism with this game. Some people might not. They might not like the pace or what have you, but I think 5 out of 10 is very, very harsh. But overall, I think they should just take the win here and leave it alone. And 88 is not too shabby at all. It would have been nice to see it get a 9 out of 10. However, not all the reviews have rolled in. Maybe someone will give it a 10 out of 10, or several outlets will throw in some reviews on Metacritic and it'll change. Who knows? We're not done with all the reviews, I don't think. But you know, it was also mentioned maybe Metacritic is the problem. Maybe we shouldn't be so reliant on Metacritic. In fact, he pointed out this right here. OpenCritic is so much better than Metacritic. More reviews, more options, more information. It's a shame that Game Rankings was swallowed by Metacritic, and it's a shame that many modern websites remove lots of user options in order to be more accessible. And you can see here by the ratings, the critic recommend score is a 97%. Top critic average, though, is an 89. So I feel like it's almost kind of like the same difference. I mean, if you're going to base it off the top critic average, it ends up being very, very similar in 88 to 89. I mean, that's like practically the same difference. So, but if you guys know me, I do not give a crap about any of these ratings. I will play the game and try it for myself, even if it's sitting at like a 5 out of 10 or whatever. I'll be like, let me try it. I want to form my own opinion. I don't care about all the noise. Let's see what's going on. But there has been some YouTubers coming out here and supporting the game, saying, hey, this is an excellent game despite some of the controversies that the game has had before release. Some people will say that they are manufactured controversy. You have Hollow here, for example, saying don't believe some of the BS reviews out there. This game is absolutely positively awesome as fuck. So yeah, you can see that there's been a lot of support going for this game right now. People are truly enjoying the hell out of it, but I'm kind of curious to see what you guys say overall, especially when it comes to the combat system, because I don't know if the combat system is going to be for everyone. It is very, very different. It has seen some massive improvements over the original, which I think finally will help people get into this combat system for sure. But we also have some other dev comments. We have this one right here. Come Deliverance 2's developer is fed up being dragged into the culture war. It seems like someone is always trying to brand us somehow, and we are just trying to make a cool video game. There's some interesting quotes here, and I wanted to highlight some of what the dev team had to say about this one. They go on to say this: there's more ethnicities in Kuttenberg because Kuttenberg is the royal mint. It's almost one of the most important cities in the Holy Roman Empire. So there are more people from Italy, there are a lot of German people in the game, and they use German words. And then there's the Jewish quarter, because we wanted to portray how the Jewish people were in the Middle Ages. Because there's a city, there's loads more effort to show how these people actually view the world, which is, I think, way more important than showing their fashion choices or how they look. It's how they view the world and the society around them, which is predominantly Christian and Czech speaking. I think it's important to not just include these people, but their vision of the world, which can sometimes feel lacking in games or media that call themselves diverse. You don't actually really know these characters, they're just there. And they go on to note here that they wanted to do a lot of things in Kingdom Come Deliverance, one that just wasn't possible. They ran out of time. And this go around, because the script is like more than double Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, or even way more than that, they're able to actually pull off their vision with this game and include a lot more characteristics of the city and its people and represent in that way. So yeah, some people took to this and manufactured some drama around it, it seems, and they are really setting things straight, saying, no, that is not the case. Here's the real story. This was our real intention. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you guys if you enjoy this game world, if it feels realistic or not. But from what we're seeing from YouTubers and those that have been playing the entire game, like put in like 150 hours, I guess it is just on point and is just absolutely superb. But anyway, let's talk about that day one patch a little bit, because it was an 80 gigabyte patch. Here are some of the patch notes right here, or all the patch notes, I should say. They did some adjustments to the FSR 3 parameters and apps to reduce flickering, so that's good news. We heard some complaints about that, by the way, from early previews. That was something I was a little bit concerned about. That graphical flickering was a big issue. There was another reviewer, I can't remember exactly who the reviewer was, but they said they played the game pre-patch, and then they also got to play the game with the day 1 patch ahead of everyone else, and the flickering was pretty much gone for them. So that is great news. Now, also, they did increase the maximum pros banner count. They fixed situations when players commits a non-violent crime, talks their way out of it, and main quests could become stuck and impossible to continue. They also have several mission progression blockers in the patch notes here, which I'm not going to highlight, by the way, for spoiler reasons, that have been fixed. So that is great news there. They did fix NPCs not responding in after a load, and then particle leak memory issue. We've seen so many games lately, by the way, with memory leak issues. So they're already knocking down those issues right out of the gates with this 80 gigabyte patch. I'm sure that's not going to be perfect. I'm sure there's going to be more patches here, but I'll keep you guys in the know about that one. Also, this is pretty important. Implemented more robust DLC item reward options. So divisible item support, allowing the Huntsman Arrow Gold Edition reward to be a stack of 40. So there you go. They also adjusted how the rain works in the game. They fixed some issues where the rain did not run properly at high frame rates. They fixed glitches with rain length and intensity, so the weather system should be more fine-tuned. They also did some minor combat adjustments as well. When a player is too close to the enemy, they adjusted that. They also fixed some PS5 black artifacts at the bottom of the screen on the PS5 specifically, and some crashes during the DICE minigame after loading. They also fine-tuned some of the stealth mechanics. They fixed perfect block indication in stealth kills. And the list goes on and on. Tons of other fixes, minor fixes that add up to being pretty significant patch overall to make the day 1 experience way better. But at the very least, I am hearing that this game is running very, very good so far. In fact, there's this right here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is proof, if any was ever needed, that you don't need the latest graphics technology to have a great looking game that also runs well. And one game that comes to mind is Space Marine 2. I don't even think that game has ray tracing in it. They just have really, really good lighting and understand that you don't necessarily have to have the absolute top of the line technology in your game to make it look good, and more importantly, run well on even like somewhat medium range PCs, which I think is really, really important in this day and age, given the fact that, holy crap, these graphics cards and everything are getting so damn expensive on PC. So yeah, I think that these developers are really learning some tricks to make these games really stand out without forcing players to embrace high-end top-tier machines. I'm hoping that's the case. Of course, we're still day 1, so I'm curious to see how it's running on your machine. Let me know if you have the chance to play, if you're at like a medium-range machine, if it's running well. Also, I am curious, how's it running on PS5 for you guys and Xbox Series X, like the baseline consoles? And if you're on PS5 Pro, I guess on consoles, that is the best way to play it on consoles at the very least. But anyway, it is time to go over your top comment. So remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. And remember, yes, I'm still doing my Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 giveaway. Actually, there's 2 chances to win. So be sure to follow the link in that pinned top comment to check that out. But anyway, let's get into this, see what you guys have to say from my most recent Kingdom Come video. All right, so we have this one. I haven't pre-ordered a game since Black Ops 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance has been one of my favorite and impactful games I've experienced. I am beyond excited to get more from this series. Hell yes, man. And it's good to know that it got a sequel. I was a little bit worried that it might not get a sequel, of course. So I love to see this game get a sequel. And then also kind of reminds me of the Dragon's Dogma situation. I didn't expect Dragon's Dogma to get a sequel. Was thrilled that that got a sequel. And it's so nice to see that there's still room for these amazing single-player centric experiences. I freaking love it. All right, next up we have the world of Kingdom Come. Feels like The Witcher before all the monsters spawn in. That's the perfect way of describing it for sure. I'm also noticing, at least from the initial trailers, the initial gameplay, and how Henry acts, it seems like to me this game has a lot of personality, which I love. It's not just like humdrum and boring. They added a ton of personality, it seems. So I'm hoping that is the case and it carries through with the full game. But from those that have actually completed and played the game, it seems to be the case. But anyway, we have 2 more sleeps, then let's fucking go. Hell yes, the excitement is unreal, man, in the comments. So we also have just found out this game existed, learned about it, watched a few reviews. Bro, I tossed my credit card at this so fast been a few years since I've been genuinely excited for a game. That's how I'm feeling about it too, man. And I've also saw the IGN headline, which was like, this game is like the old Bethesda way of doing things, which I was like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. You know, I want to see those classic games that have mechanics that are super detailed. That's what I want to see. And it seems like that's what we got from this one. And hey, Wolfar FPS, I got to hang out with him at the Path of Exile 2 event. Great guy. Check out his channel, by the way. He says, excited for you to jump in, man. You have no idea. It is killing me right now, dude. Like, I haven't installed, haven't had the chance to hop in yet, but right after I'm done with this video, I'm taking the time out to play the hell out of this game. So yeah, I am so curious about it and to see how much it has actually improved over the first one. All right, we'll do one more comment here. Kingdom Come 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2 set a bar for me when it comes to living, breathing open worlds. Naturally, Kingdom Come 2 and GTA 6 are my most anticipated games for this year. I'm also looking forward to Ghost of Yota and Mafia Old Country. Yes, man, those are on my list for sure. Cannot wait to try those. Ghost of Tsushima, the first one, is one of my absolute all-time favorite open world games. Sucker Punch. They are insanely talented. So, yeah, I think we're going to be in surprise with Ghost of Yota for sure. And then Mafia Old Country. I've heard it's not like exactly open world. I've heard it's like more of a linear experience, which I think it might actually do justice to the Mafia franchise. It seemed like they needed to head in that direction anyway, based on like previous games. But excited to see how that one turns out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 news and updates. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.